versus Mansfield Senior Tigers.
Lima Senior defeated Mansfield Senior 82-54 last year, and the Tigers have lost 7 in a row against Lima. Their last victory coming in a 77-67 win to open the 2012-2013 series. The season. They want to change their fortunes tonight here at Pete Henry as they take on the Spartans of Lima Senior. We'll have the tip-off coming up next.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pete Henry Gymnasium. I am Brian Harder, along with Greg Collins. We've got the Tigers and the Spartans of Lima Senior, and as we've taken a look at the schedule this season, it really has kind of boiled down to this. This is a pretty good litmus test for the Tigers as they play a very good basketball team in Lima Senior.
I would think that this is going to be the best team the Mansfield Senior will see all season, even if a long tournament run. I realize that Shelby went into Lima and won that basketball game, and that had been a great game to watch, a high-scoring game. But Lima Senior at full strength. Now, I know they're missing a couple of players tonight, as we'll talk about, but at full strength is one of the top teams in the state. Maybe not quite as talented as they were last year when their season was cut short because of COVID, the tournament, but still a very talented team with obviously a rich tradition.
And we're not just talking about one of the top teams in the district. We're talking about one of the top programs in the state. They're 10-2. They're 5-0 in their conference. They're ranked 14th in Division I, and they've only had 2 losses. You mentioned the Shelby loss. They lost last weekend to Lakewood St. Ed, 70-56. And then all they did is they went out and kind of avenged that to Sylvania Southview on Saturday, 64-33. Now tonight, though, their roster is a little bit short.
Well, it is, but back to their schedule. Saturday's game against Lorraine Southview, you said they won it going away. Lorraine Southview came into that game with a 9-1 record. Friday night at Lakewood St. Ed's, they get beat. Today, Lakewood St. Ed's is ranked as the number 1 team in the state of Ohio. I don't think they are the number 1 team in the state of Ohio, but they are, obviously, they're a brand name. They're a great program, and Lima Senior went to St. Ed's and got beat. But tonight, Lima Senior again comes and plays Mansfield Senior on the road. Senior High has a tremendous tradition with Lima Senior. It's been a rivalry for years. It's great to see these two teams still playing each other, even during the COVID time that we're in right now. But two players, one with big size for Lima Senior that won't be playing tonight, another sub that averages, 8 or 9 points a game that won't be playing tonight. They're down to, I think, 4 or 5 guys that really have stats that they've played quite a bit. So we'll see with the style that Lima Senior likes to play, are they going to be able to play that pace the entire 32 minutes?
Now, one player who is playing is Khalil Luster, who is their leading scorer and one of the top guards in the state of Ohio.
He is. He's quite good. He's only a junior. He is, as a sophomore, with second team all-conference. People here at Mansfield remember Keon Johnson and how Keon was undersized, but his work and his skills just made him such a great player and was a leader for his basketball team. Well, I'm not going to put Luster and Keon's, in that kind of group right now, but he is the leader of this Lima Senior basketball team, even though he is only a junior. And tonight, with players missing, they're going to expect more from him.
Now for the Tigers of Mansfield Senior, they've won 4 in a row. They're led by Shad Kramer, who is really their offensive star, so to speak, 14 points a game, but they've gotten a lot of key contributions. Maurice Ware, especially in the last 3 or 4 games, has really picked things up.
Well, Maurice, even when his stats were not showing it, his hustle, his effort, his intensity was outstanding. Thus, Coach Sykes has to keep him in the ball game. There have been some games where he's had early foul trouble where he had to sit out, and I think that's affected the team. But I think, Shad Kramer with the stats, but Maurice Ware with his energy, if everybody could just jump on his back and follow his lead, it's going to make Senior High even a better team.
Now the keys for Mansfield Senior, obviously they're going to have to handle the pressure of a team like Lima Senior. They have to be able to finish. We have seen them the last few games get second looks at the basket but not be able to finish and get those second chance points. And third, they have just got to be clicking on all cylinders offensively. We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest country in the world with freedoms like no other. To honor America and respect for all who have served our country to defend the freedoms we enjoy, we ask you gentlemen to remove your hats and for everyone to please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's matchup for the Spartans of Lima Senior under the direction of head coach Quincy Simpson in his 7th season. Anthony Mosley is in the starting lineup, a 6'3 sophomore. He's joined by Khalil Luster, their leading scorer. Jerron Mayo, Jordan Rollins, and Quan Moore round out the starting lineup for the Spartans. For the Tigers, it's their normal starting lineup: Miles Bradley, Maurice Ware, Shad Kramer, their leading scorer, D'Angelo Chapman, and Emil Upchurch. Tigers under the direction of Marquis Sykes in his 4th season as the head coach, and we have seen the Tigers quite a bit over the last month, Coach, and I think this is a team that is really starting to gel as they head into the second half of their season.
Well, I don't think there's any question. You can tell that they're taking full advantage of practice time, especially since the Christmas, when they've probably been very consistently been on the practice floor. Now they're going through a stretch where they're going to seem to be playing more games than practices. They seem to be playing 3 games every week, but that's a result of missing all those games early on in the season.
Well, they've been playing a lot of home games, it really seems to be,
right,
but they're going to go on the road. The Tigers start a 3-game road swing this Friday night at West Holmes. Then Saturday they travel to Lexington to take on the Minutemen. And then the road trip ends next Tuesday at it's a game that might be big on their schedule at Worcester.
Yeah, those are 3 big ones in their conference games, and those are all important. I can tell you that West Holmes is Friday and Lexington Saturday. They might be turning on this game and watching it, but I don't think they're going to get a lot out of it because their styles are 180 different than Lima Senior style. What Lima Senior is going to try to do tonight, most teams in our area cannot do. They cannot attempt.
Now, what Lima Senior is going to try to do tonight is something that we have seen a lot of the Tigers teams do in the past. They want to create offense from their defense.
Right.
They're going to get up and they're going to pressure you, and they're going to control the tempo.
Well, and when they're fully healthy, they're going to press you from the get-go, and they're going to get out on transition, whether it's off steals, whether it's off misses, whether it's off a made by the opponent. They're going to get up and down the court, and they're going to play a lot of guys. Now, tonight will be interesting to see. With a limited bench, or at least a limited bench with experience, how are they going to handle it? I see Senior High right away respecting what Lima Senior can do, especially with dribble penetration. They come out in a zone right away.
And we've seen that over the last few weeks, much to the dismay of Marquis Sykes. But to his credit, he is taking what teams are giving him, and he's adjusting, and this is what's working for them right now.
Well, exactly. And if it works, you gotta stay with it. And this is what's been working for Lima Senior, and that's man pressure, run and trap. They're going to run at the ball handler. They're going to trap, and they do a really good job. If you watch off the basketball, they do a really strong job of rotating to the open people.
Which is really the key to pressing is, yes, everybody thinks about getting up on the ball and getting pressure, but if you're not rotating away from the ball, it defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do, and it makes it easier to break.
Well, exactly right. Now, the key is there's a strong move by Maurice Ware. If you can beat that pressure, because there's going to be 2 people on the ball, if you can beat that pressure, you're going to have a 4-on-3 advantage and take advantage of it. You're going to get some good looks. Right there, Maurice Ware has a nice penetration for a made shot.
Luster with a 3 in the air that doesn't go, but an offensive rebound. Now the Tigers with a size advantage tonight, but Lima coming out and getting the early offensive rebound and a foul as Anthony Mosley went to the basket.
Well, even though Mansfield Senior is a team that very athletic and likes to dribble penetrate, I thought coming into this game, and I'm not sure if Coach Sykes did too, Lima Senior maybe is a level above them with those abilities. So because of that, let's try to take away Lima's dribble penetration, get in that zone, try to keep them on the perimeter, try to keep them into perimeter shooters. This time, though, Lima's able to dribble penetrate the zone and get a foul inside.
Mosley, the 6'3 sophomore, misses the first free throw. He averages about 9 points a game, 5 rebounds, and shoots 43% from the free throw line.
Yeah, I'll remember that late in the game. Now, watching Lima's press, they're going to try to force you sideline once you receive the basketball, and then they're going to come from behind. They're good hands by Lima that time. They're going to try to force you sideline, come from behind to trap, and then rotate to the open players looking for the interception.
And one of the things that you and I have focused on over the last few ball games is getting your hands active with your pressure, and that's something Lima does very well.
They do that extremely well. You're right. Get a lot of deflections, and there are a lot of teams. Rick Pitino, I think, was probably the first one that charts deflections, whether it's a steal or not. Just deflections are key. It's a sign of active hands on defense, and if you can chart individual players, just getting their hands on the basketball, deflections, that's going to show you their defensive intensity.
Luster unable to get into the lane, so the zone so far for the Tigers is giving Lima a little bit of trouble here in the early going. They try to go high-low, and the Tigers come away with the basketball.
It certainly has slowed down the pace a little bit, which I think it is an advantage to senior high.
That's Upchurch. And it's interesting as Kramer does not draw, as we see a turnover here by Lima Senior. Ball out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Spartans. There's Marquise Sykes, the head coach of the Tigers of Mansfield Senior. And I tell you what, he has been very upbeat and very positive through all of this COVID stuff, and he's really pleased with how his team has performed here as we see the first three by Quan Moore and the Spartans with a 2-point lead.
And I watched their game against Lakewood St. Ed's the other day, and Quan Moore was a pretty good lefty shooter from the perimeter, and they found him on the out-of-bounds play. But talking about Coach Sykes, he has been part of this rivalry as a player, as an assistant coach, as a head coach. He knows what this is all about. And you just hope that the players also understand just, the how many great players from both sides have been involved in this matchups here.
Tigers have lost 7 in a row in the series, dating all the way back to the 2012-2013 season. And they would like nothing more than to break that string here tonight.
Well, when you have the basketball, you better keep your head up because there's going to be people running at you. There's going to be heavy pressure in the half court.
Bradley spins, off balance, shot doesn't go, quickly up ahead to Luster. Now they won't call goaltending on that because
I think they missed it. I think it was off the backboard. They just missed it. And
here, take a look at the replay. I don't think the shot was going to fall anyway.
But it was off the backboard, so that, and Quincy Simpson's asking about it. I think the officials probably just missed that one. And we're one of the few people that don't make any mistakes, so I guess I did.
Luster thought about the three. And Rollins will bring it out. And long three in the air by Jerron Mayo doesn't go, but he gets an offensive rebound. The second offensive rebound of the quarter for the Spartans. Another foul called.
Well, one thing players have to remember that a long shot means long rebound. When you're shooting a three-point shot, and I think that was, 2 or 3 steps outside the three-point line, a missed shot normally is going to be a long rebound, so you can't stand underneath the basket to rebound those.
The foul was on Emil Upchurch, and that's his second.
That's big. Emil has been playing awfully well lately.
They're going to get him out of the lineup in the next dead ball. Ball bounced around, and Upchurch comes away with it. Tigers with a chance to tie, 4:20 to go in the opening quarter.
And there was an example of active hands by Mansfield Senior.
Ball knocked out of bounds off of Upchurch, and he's going to take a seat in Anthony Pearson, who has been playing very well from the perimeter, shooting the basketball. He comes into Marquise Sykes' lineup.
And, he's shooting 38%. That's something that Mansfield, 38% from the three. That's something that Mansfield really needs. And, tonight's one of those nights where because of the way Lima plays, he might get some open looks out there. He's just got to be able to knock him down. He's been doing it so far this season.
Luster for three. And another offensive rebound by the Spartans goes out of bounds off of D'Angelo Chapman. Lima Senior over the years has had some pretty good guard play.
Oh, my gosh. And a lot of them named Simpson, huh?
Well, you go all the way back to Greg Simpson, who was Mr. Basketball in the state of Ohio, went on to Ohio State and had a very good career. And then Xavier Simpson, Quincy Simpson's son, was another Mr. Ohio who went to the University of Michigan, probably much to the chagrin of Buckeye fans. Pearson with a three that doesn't go. Maurice Ware with an offensive rebound. They're going to call a jump ball. It's going to go to the Spartans.
I remember another guard, Travis Walton, who played up at Michigan State, had a great career. Travis was outstanding.
Low-scoring ball game, 3:23 to go in the opening quarter. Long three in the air, so they're going to try to shoot out of this zone. That's Jerron Mayo, and he makes it a 5-point lead for the Spartans.
And he's very capable. He's a 31% three-point shooter, very capable shooter. We got to make sure we get a hand up on him.
Kramer gets through the pressure and lays it up and in, gets his first bucket of the ball game.
And what was a great move. But getting into the lane, getting the hands off of him, and using his body to square up and make the shot. But getting that far to 3 or 4 feet from the basket was the hard work for Shad.
Mayo traveled and turns the ball over.
Well, Senior High's done a good job with ball pressure out of their zone. Active hands. They've caused some turnovers on their own.
Kramer being guarded by Jordan Rollins. Kramer, no look behind the back pass, and a foul is going to be called. We take a look at the replay. This was a nice pass.
Nice
Chapman
pass.
Unable to gather before he was fouled.
And, you know, D'Angelo is shooting 48%, which is quite good. He's got to be one of the leading field goal percentage shooters for Senior High. We just need to find him some more shots. We need him right there, just maybe a little stronger, catch the ball and take it up strong. He's shooting the ball well, just has to get more attempts in there.
Mayo at the other end against the defense of Maurice Ware, and Maurice Ware had his presence felt on that possession.
And here comes Luster with the ball on transition. What a pass.
Up ahead to Mayo, who lays it in with the left hand. And the Spartans extend their lead 9-4 as we approach the 2-minute mark.
That's where I see the similarity with Keon Johnson. You know, Keon would have his head up right from the beginning. He'd be pushing the ball hard, and he would just, if you were open, he'd get the ball to you down the court.
Kramer misfires on the three, but over the back, the foul is called on Miles Bradley. That'll be his first. Brock Hill coming into the lineup along with Chunky Haney for the Tigers, and Chapman will sit down.
Now, Brian, I was looking at the stats for Chunky. He is 7th on the team in minutes played, but he is 3rd on the team in offensive rebounds, 2nd on the team in steals. Now, 3rd on the team in offensive rebounds, and if it wasn't for Luster, he'd be by far and away the smallest kid on the court, right?
Yes.
Again, another young man that just plays hard all the time.
Hill all the way to Pearson, who is wide open. Lays it up with the left hand. An easy look for the Tigers. That's not going to come very often.
No, it's not, but a good quarterback looks downfield, and I guess he's a pretty good quarterback, huh?
Luster misfires from long range. Ware with the rebound, and here come the Tigers with a 2-on-1. And Haney could not get the layup to go, and that's what we talked about. They have got to get those kind of shots to fall. Another offensive rebound, and the Spartans continue to pound the glass. But Hill comes away with it, and then he is fouled by Luster.
Well, this is what Lima does. They're going to pressure you. They're going to shoot quickly. They're going to hit the offensive boards. If you can break the pressure, if you can get a defensive rebound, you're going to get some runouts, And Senior High's had their opportunities for runouts.
Hill wide open under the basket.
Nice cut. Nice pass.
Nice look by Haney from the wing. And Tigers pulled to within 4.
And the big advantage, scoring the 2 points, but give us a chance to get back into our zone defense. Again, we talk about it. I don't want to harp on it, Brian. I just wish they'd have their hands up a little bit more, but, you know, the zone has been effective, and they're cutting down dribble penetration.
Mayo from the baseline. Kramer again with a good job of getting through the pressure, though the ball knocked out of bounds. It will go to the Tigers with 20 seconds to go in the quarter. There's the look, the previous possession inside to Hill.
That was a nice cut from the backside and wide open and takes it up strong. Unfortunately, this is going to be our last look at Brock Hill, right?
Yes, he because of the transfer rule, this will be his last game in a Tiger uniform this year. This is a team, when you pick up your dribble, they are in your face. Kramer misfires from outside.
And you can see that Shad's taken a couple of threes, and both of them have been relatively quick because he knows the defensive pressure's coming on him quick.
Well, he's getting a break here with about 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Shad plays at a very high level with a high motor. Mm-hmm. They're making him work extra hard, bringing the ball up against this pressure. Notice the last 3 that he took. He just looked gassed. Shot doesn't go, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. The Tigers down by 6 as we head to the second. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Tigers down by 6 as we start the second quarter. Brian Harder, Greg Collins from Pete Henry. I'd love to say it's a packed house, but
yeah, not quite.
In our minds, it's a packed house.
Yeah, there you go.
This is a big game for both of these schools, and especially for the Tigers. They've won 4 in a row and trying to break a losing streak against these Spartans. Chunky Haney, I don't know how he came away with that shot, but unable to get it to drop from the left side. And Hill gets a turnover for the Tigers, and they're going to get a chance to redeem themselves.
What I liked about Haney, though, just like right here, he's a young guy that no hesitation.
Shad Kramer starting this quarter on the bench, and I noticed that it looked like he was gassed at the end of the quarter, and he's still getting a breather.
Yeah, Lima's pressure is going to do that. This is where it's tough, especially after made free throws. If he is able to convert this second free throw, it gives their defense time to set up. We've seen a couple of different presses from Lima. We've seen the run and trap, and we've also seen the straight man pressure.
Travis Bullock at the line, a 6'3 senior, averages about 8 points a game, shoots 41% from the line. They've got a couple guys that down the stretch, Quincy Simpson has to think about whether he has them on the floor in a tight ball game.
That's going to affect you somewhere down in this season.
Haney gets it over to Kramer, who is inserted back into the lineup. Hill wide open for 3. And Haney with a little tip pass.
See, that's I thought it was a great offensive rebound by Haney.
Oh, offensive foul on Shad Kramer as he drove to the basket. Haney just seems to have a very good court awareness when he's on the floor.
He does. Now, in a game like this, you wonder if Coach Sykes wants him to be back maybe to stop transition a little bit more, being a guard. But if he is going to be on the offensive boards, you might as well get the offensive board like he did there. A nice tip to D'Angelo. I just wish D'Angelo would try to take it up strong. He's shooting the ball so well this year. Take it up strong right there.
Skip pass over to Bullock. Back inside in the trees, and the score by Mosley, the sophomore. And the Spartans trying to extend the lead, and they get another turnover. There you talked about the rotation away from the basketball. And Rollins able to pick it off like a free safety almost, and then a three in the air by Bullock, and 12-point lead, the largest lead of the half by the Spartans.
Oh, great dribble. Oh, over and back.
That's over and back.
I was going to say, I thought, Chunky was just going to do a great job. Fundamentally, easier said than done. What you want to do when you see a trap coming is retreat dribble. And it looked like he started his retreat dribble, but then he picked it up, and I think maybe he lost it on that pass. I don't think that's the pass he really intended.
But this is the pace that Lima plays, and they force teams to – the Tigers haven't seen this kind of pressure all season long, so they're not used to playing and adapting on the fly as the game goes.
Well, the closest still not to this level. I agree with you. Lima can give you ball pressure that and also move their feet. Worcester, as you were mentioning last week, maybe is when we started to see Senior High turn the corner. They were able to beat Worcester occasionally off the dribble. So it was harder to trap, easier to get to the basket. Tonight it's much more difficult. Now watch down here, Senior High, if they stay, and it looks like they are going to stay in a zone. What Lima Senior is trying to do is attack what we call the short corner, or sometimes we call it the sweep. If you look when we have a view of the half court, number 0's down there right now, but they're going to look high post, short corner, or short corner, high post for a shot.
There they get the ball to Mosley. It goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Spartans.
It's hard for the 2-3 zone to rotate when you are able to get the ball to either one of those two areas.
Quan Moore back in. Cecil Benton sits down. Well, the one thing the Tigers have done is they've controlled Khalil Luster. He's only got 3 points. Taking a couple threes he's misfired on. They've done a pretty good job of taking away his penetration, but another 3 right there by Quan Moore, and Moore now with 6.
And again, he looked good shooting the ball against St. Ed's last Friday night. One thing about these two programs, they don't shy away from competition. If you call them, they'll play you. Lima Senior has already played at Thomas Worthington, who's ranked number 12 in the state. Of course, they played Shelby. They played St. Ed's. Senior High has played Dublin Kaufman, one of the best teams in the state. Obviously, Worcester and Ashland in our area are probably the 2 best teams in our area. They're going to play anybody. If you call them, they'll play you.
And you talked about over the years they've continued this tradition of playing Lima, and I like this rivalry.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It would normally be a tournament atmosphere during the regular season if you didn't have COVID. 3 in the air, misfired by D'Angelo Chapman, and the Tigers are just cold now offensively. Another 3 in the air by Quan Moore. This one doesn't go, and he tried to zip it inside, and Chapman comes away with it. He lobs it up to Maurice Ware, who can't finish.
That was a nice pass. Maurice, I'm sure most of the time, is going to come down with that and take it up strong.
Travis Bullock mishandles the pass by Luster. And as a coach, you're going to put up with that. You're going to have, even when you play at that fast pace, you're going to turn the ball over as well.
Well, you're going to have more turnovers than a team. Well, you should have more turnovers than a team that's going to play at a slower pace, methodical pace.
Chapman. Kramer, who has been held to 2 points here so far in the first half. It's tied up with Jordan Rawlins.
The difference with Lima Senior is right there. Shad Kramer had the ball about 6-7 feet from the baseline, dribbled out closer to half court. Most teams we play, that's going to relieve pressure, but not Lima Senior. They're just going to follow you. They'll wherever you go, they're going to be right there with you.
Chapman with a short jumper off the inbounds pass. A good look. It doesn't fall. And the Tigers just struggling to get any kind of offense. They've gotten some decent looks at the basket. They just haven't got anything to drop.
Unfortunately, I don't think they've got a shot for Pearson yet. They'd love to get a shot for him. Get Maurice Ware more inside.
Luster with a long three. And Bradley with a rebound, and they're going to call a foul. I believe that's going to be on Rawlins. So that's his second. So he's going to come out. Shalom Stout, a 6'2 sophomore, checks in.
See how he's forcing him sideline, and they'll come trap from behind. And they're going to rotate to open players. Oh, nice pass.
Layup. Good by Jerron Mayo, and Mayo now with 9. And the lead is now 25-8.
Here's forced sideline. Pressure. Good reversal. Head up, Maurice. Head up. Somebody's open. D'Angelo maybe has to come and help a little bit more. Yeah.
Hill in the lane. Off-balance shot doesn't go. Luster with a long three. In and out. Bradley with the rebound.
You know, I think Luster's had some good looks. He's just not able to convert them. There's a strong move.
Finally breaks a scoring drought for the Tigers.
First basket of the second quarter, and nice strong move by Maurice. Good look down the court. Did you see who passed that?
That was from Kramer.
That was a good pass by Shad.
Mayo with another outside jumper that doesn't go, and he's hit a little bit of a lull here in the second quarter after hitting a couple threes. Kramer tried to play off the ball screen. Ware for three.
I don't know how much ball screen offense Mansfield has, but this would be an opponent to use it against.
Luster with a nice take inside, dishes off to Mosley.
You're right. That was a good take inside, drew the help. Now he takes it, nice block. I believe that's D'Angelo's 22nd block this year. He has been a force this year inside.
Ware with a strong take to the basket. They're going to call an offensive foul as Mosley was in position to take the charge, and Maurice a little slow to get up. Yeah, there was no doubt about that one.
Right. The help side defense was there. Maurice was hoping that circle would be there like in college and pro where help side defense cannot help, but
timeout
no
on the floor.
2:31
to go. And Lima up 27-10. Lima Senior, as we said, 10-2 on the season. Went to St. Ed's last Friday night and suffered their second loss of the season. That snapped a 5-game winning streak. The loss at the beginning of that streak was to the Shelby Whippets, who arguably is probably the best team in this area.
Well, I would still say Ashland and Worcester. Of course, Worcester beat them pretty good. I don't know if Ashland, they were scheduled. I don't know if they're going to play. Shelby is certainly one of them. Certainly, in my opinion, the top Division II team in our area, and I'm sure will be the number 1 seed this weekend in the district, which I have to apologize, Brian. I stepped out on a limb on Saturday and said that Sandusky and Mansfield Senior, it was an important game for tournament seeding because they are in the same district. Well, they are not in the same district. Still an important game for seeding, but these days Sandusky goes one direction and Mansfield will go to Ashland.
Well, the worst part of that whole thing, other than you made the mistake, was you tried to blame me.
Well, you know, I was trying to find somebody to accept it. I even blamed Travis, and Travis wasn't even here that day. But
Luster hits a 3, and the Tigers now down by 20. And Kramer just trying to get on track offensively. Bradley inside to Brock Hill. And Hill with a shot fake draws the foul, and he'll go to the line.
And that was a good pass by Bradley. Good dribble penetration, drew the defense inside out. And we talk about occasionally when you're playing defense in the post area, you don't want to help inside out. But that time the defense did help inside out, and it was a nice pass to Brock, and he gets a chance to go to the free throw line and knock down a couple of free throws. And Brock is a player that since Mount Vernon of last week, I think has really been playing extremely well. He's been shooting much better from the three-point line. Yeah, it's gonna be a big miss, for Coach Sykes, somebody off the bench like Brock Hill.
Misfires on the second free throw. He now is at his season average, averaging about 3 a game. Luster kicks the ball out to Bullock for 3. And Bradley clears the miss for the Tigers, and they try to run. Lima does a nice job sprinting back defensively.
Keep that ball moving.
Kramer trying to go behind the back. The problem with that is sometimes you're not looking for that.
Right, and that's, they're probably just not looking, but, you hope you would be looking in that situation. I mean, you're a post player. You want to sit down low right there. You're open. Look for the ball.
Kramer picks up Luster.
Here's a nice back door.
Wide open look by Travis Bullock. And this could get away from the Tigers here as we start to wind down the second quarter. Kramer, nice look inside. That time they're able to Crawford with his first 2 points of the night.
That time he had his hands ready and Shad found him. Shad's just got to be ready to make a jump stop there. That was close. I don't think it was an offensive foul, but it was close. Got a jump stop to make that pass.
Spartans content to take the last shot of the half.
And with man-to-man, it looks like Crawford is matched up on Luster, which is a tough matchup.
Kick it out. Mayo for 3 doesn't go, but an offensive rebound doesn't go as well, and that will do it. The first 2 quarters
foul,
in the books. And, yes, they do get a foul, so Bullock will go to the line with no time on the clock. Foul called on Brock Hill, his first. And Bullock misses the free throw. Again, a 41% free throw shooter on the season. And he misses them both. So at the half, Lima Senior with a 32-13 lead over the Tigers. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
It's halftime here at Pete Henry, and the Tiger, you can tell he's not smiling because he really doesn't have a whole lot to smile about. 32-13, the Spartans with a sizable lead at the intermission, and it was the second quarter offensive woes for the Tigers that just really took them out of this ball game. They had 5 points in the second quarter, giving up 18. And the things that we thought were going to happen happened. Lima Senior with their pressure. And they also shot the ball pretty well, too. 6 of 18, especially from the three-point line at 33%. And they out-rebounded the Tigers 24-13. But then you look at that big number, 13 turnovers for Mansfield Senior. And as a result, they're down 19.
Well, you're right. And go back to the threes. Mansfield, 0 of 7. The first half the season so far, we would expect that. They weren't shooting very well. But as we've seen over the last 4 or 5 games, their three-point shooting percentage is slowly coming up. It is, I think it's around 28, 29%, which is, right there where that not all that bad. But it had to come from like 21%. They've been shooting the ball much better from the three-point line. Now, tonight, unfortunately, who I think is their best three-point shooter, Pearson, has not been able to get a shot off. Again, the pressure on him is so hard that it's been tough for him to get a shot up. But, that's something that has to improve down the road, obviously. It has been improving, but it has to be more consistent. But you're right, 13 turnovers, that's something that Lima forces, and we talked about containing pressure, and and Senior High. Lima certainly has the advantage there of their pressure effect on Mansfield.
Individually, Jerron Mayo with 9 points, and then Khalil Luster and Travis Bullock with 6 each for Lima Senior. And for the Tigers, they're led by Maurice Ware, who has 4. Shad Kramer only with 2 points, and they have been all over him, and they're making him work to get the ball up the floor, which it looked to me, especially in the second 3 that he took there at the beginning of the second quarter, it looked like it affects he just looks spent. He looks tired.
Right. And that's one thing that pressure gives you. It doesn't always have steals, though tonight Lima Senior is able to make the steals. It also wears on your legs, and it's going to have an effect in the third and in the fourth quarter. And with Senior High, with limited players that can really handle the ball versus pressure, it's going to have an effect on those players like Shad and Haney that have to handle the ball quite a bit.
And it almost looked there toward the end of the second quarter like the body language was starting to go.
Right.
They need to come out with some effort and some energy in the third quarter.
Well, you're right, because you mentioned early on, Senior High has been trending up. They've been playing hard. They've been playing with great effort. They're playing better over the last couple of weeks. They want to continue that. Now, tonight, they have a tough test. It's a non-league game. It has no bearing on tournament. Lima Senior obviously is Division I now, and Mansfield Senior is playing at Division II. So you don't want to lose that momentum that you've had. You just want to play hard. Coach Sykes, as you've said many times, he's always very positive. I'm sure he's in the locker room right now being positive because many of the mistakes that they've made tonight, a lot of teams that Senior High plays are not going to be able to force.
Now, if you're Quincy Simpson, what do you think you guys need to do coming into this third quarter? You want to keep your energy level up, and you want to keep doing the things that you've been doing.
Right.
They didn't shoot at a high percentage in the first quarter either, or first half, excuse me.
No. From a team that does shoot the ball well, it probably wasn't up to their standards. I would think, he's not going to rest right now with this lead. I think he's happy with the defense. I don't know with these 3 players that are such key players for them how long they're going to be out. If they are going to be out for any extended time, I'm sure he would like to give some of those reserves or some of those players that are coming up some more minutes tonight and get their feet wet because they have a tough schedule. Their league is a tough conference with Toledo, St. John's, and Findlay right behind them record-wise in the conference.
I'll be interested to see how the Tigers come out here in the third quarter, and I really hope that guys like Maurice Ware and guys that have given them spark and energy in these last 4 or 5 ball games, they come out and they set that tone. And as we have seen over the last 4 ball games when they were winning and getting that winning streak going, those guys, that effort was contagious.
Well, it was, and you don't want it to be a switch. You know as well as I do when we were coaching, you told the players all the time, there's not a switch. You can't just turn that switch on and say, okay, tonight I'm going to play hard. You want that to be a consistent fundamental. And I know a few fans that I see now and then that have been following us on OH Report, following the Mansfield Tigers. One thing they've all said is they enjoy how hard Mansfield Senior has been playing, the effort that they're giving. Yeah, they lost to Worcester a couple of weeks ago, but they enjoy the effort that was given that night. And you want that to be consistent every night. So, yeah, I hope to see that in the second half because they're certainly going to need it this weekend.
Yeah, they'll have a double weekend in the OHC. As we said earlier, they hit the road. They have had a lot of home games here in the last month or so, but they're going to take a 3-game road swing starting Friday night at West Holmes. Then Saturday they go to Lexington, and then they go to Worcester on Tuesday. So 3 games, another 3 games in 5-day stretch for them. So they want to go into that road trip at least on a positive note, even if they don't win this ball game. If they can play well in the second half.
Well, exactly right. And I think we're back for the home game with Lexington, a week from Friday, right?
Yes, we'll have them next Friday, and then we'll also have them the following Saturday, the rematch with Ashland.
That will be another great one. That was a great start right there by Senior High. Emil, caught the ball about 5 or 6 feet from the basket on the baseline, but he had the baseline to go. He drove. He got his body under control and went up strong and drew the foul. Now let's hit these free throws.
Emil Upchurch had to leave the game in the first quarter after picking up his second foul, so hopefully they can keep him in the lineup the majority of this second half as he makes both free throws.
And again, he's a 48% shooter from the field. I think he's the leading field goal percentage shooter for Senior High, so he knows a good shot from a bad shot.
Bradley tried for the steal. Luster for 3, and he hits it. I noticed as the teams were meeting at the half and as Lima was huddling, as the official walks over, I'm not sure what they're discussing, but
I think maybe a delay of game. I didn't see it, but maybe a Senior High or a Lima Senior player touched the ball or something, and after the made basket, which would cause a delay of game, just a warning maybe.
I noticed that Luster, they were warming up, and as they were taking their final shots, he was trying to hit a 3, and he stayed out there on the floor until he hit the 3 before they went into their huddle.
And that was enough.
Everyone was waiting for him.
And that was enough to give him confidence.
Upchurch left alone for 3, and he nails it. So Upchurch now with 5 points to start the third quarter, but quickly up ahead, and a third foul on Emil Upchurch in transition after getting those big points to start the third quarter. He's going to send Bullock to the line.
And right away I look over at Coach Sykes, and you just see he gets deflated. I mean, here's a player that just came out and scored 5 quick points for you, picking up his third foul. So now what does Coach Sykes do? Does he leave him on the court?
He's doing what I would do. He's going to leave him in.
Oh, I think you're right. With this lead right here, yeah, leave him in. Let him play. He's playing well right now. Let him play.
Second free throw doesn't go. Tigers with a much better job. Now they get up ahead to Upchurch. Has his shot blocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Tigers. Nice defensive play by Mosley.
That was, and a nice offense by Senior High, beating the pressure with passing and finding the open man. And again, obviously, when 2 people are looking to trap, somebody in the offense is going to be open.
Well, I'm guessing that was one of the points of emphasis at halftime by Marquis Sykes. We're not going to dribble through this pressure.
Very well could be.
We're going to have to pass over it. Where? Chapman open for 3. And the Tiger offense is awake here in the third quarter. They pulled it within 14.
And I like this where Marquise is coming out into a man-to-man. The zone, when they were able to get in the zone, was pretty effective. I think Marquise right now, though, wants to give a little bit of energy to his team, get into a man. But when you play man, you got to cut down dribble penetration.
Upchurch dribbled right into the corner, right across half court, and Luster answers with a layup.
And you know as well as I do, that's one place you don't want to pick it up.
Hits through the pressure that time, but then hits the deck, and the tie-up is going to go to Lima Senior. Does it seem like every possession arrow has gone to Lima Senior?
You have to talk to those guys over there. This kind of reminds me of like a football and offense where you got receivers wide open, but the quarterback is running for his life all the time.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what's happening. The quarterback with the ball here for Senior High, for Mansfield Senior, is just running for his life.
Ball out of bounds. It will go to the Tigers. Brock Hill up off the bench. And, well, who are they going to take out? You got to take somebody out because you got 6. Chapman's going to go out with that third, or Upchurch is going to go out with that third foul. Here Marquise yelling reverse. Get it up to Brock Hill, inside to Bradley. Going to call a foul as Bradley and Jerron Mayo got tied up. The foul is going to be called on Jordan Rollins, and that's his third.
You know, we always tell our players when you catch the ball against pressure, you want to chin it right under your chin.
Ware from the elbow, and all of a sudden the Tigers are a hot shooting team here in the third quarter. They almost look like in this quarter they're looking to shoot when they get the basketball. I mean, there's just an urgency. I call it offensive foul, and the Tigers are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, good defense right there. Cut down the lane, and the offense had to push off.
Well, they call the little shove there on Jerron Mayo. And that's his first.
Here comes
Chapman.
The pressure. There we go, Maurice.
Dribble right to him. Nice take to the basket by Ware, attacking the pressure. Tigers again within 14. Off-balance shot doesn't go, but another offensive rebound. And a tough take to the basket by Bullock, and he's fouled. See the shot fake, getting Chapman in the air. And then it was just sailing to the basket over Brock Hill.
Now, Lima Senior shoots 54% from inside the three-point line. Obviously, the percentage is high because they get so many layups off their defense, off transition, running down the court, but also moves like that. Good pump fake from three-point line, good move to the basket.
Hill for three. Offensive rebound on the backside doesn't go, and I like Bradley coming up with a nice hustle play into Ware.
And Maurice keeping with it.
Maurice's first shot was almost behind the backboard, but you're right, he hung with it. I love this kid's energy.
Oh, it's outstanding. And senior high, as you said, this quarter, it just looks like a different senior high team with their effort.
Ware with a strong take. Mayo at the other end over Kramer. And Mayo now in double figures with the 11.
Now they got the break again.
Mayo wide open for three.
You can tell that Jared Mayo just has the confidence. He's a 31% shooter out there, but they had a 2-on-1, and he pulls up for a three.
Kramer with a spin in the lane, but again, he just cannot get a break around the basket. Mayo wide open, deep for three. This one doesn't go. Mayo's got 14, was looking for 17 right there. Bradley with a leaner in the lane. And he's got his first 2 points of the night.
That was a tough shot by Miles. He had to pump fake and then lean under the offense, as you said, to hit a 15-footer. Not an easy shot at all.
Luster. Kramer gave him space, and he drilled it. He's now got 14.
Even though he was cold in the first half, you got to respect him. He's a three-point shooter. He's a shooter.
Kramer at the other end.
There we go.
Well, now we got a track meet in the third quarter after no offense really in the second quarter.
And because of that, Lima's going to make big changes. They're going to bring in 4 players, keep people fresh.
Mayo kicks it out to Bullock. And it'll be Tiger basketball. Down by 19, 2:20 to go in the third quarter. Tigers trying to make a run, and I guess the frustrating thing for the Tigers, they're shooting and hitting shots here in the third quarter. They're still down 19.
Well, exactly. In Lima, as we talked about at halftime, you would think that Coach Simpson would want to get some of these reserves in, get them some playing time, and it looks like they're doing that. It looks like some young kids in there right now for them.
Cecil Benton in, a 5'10 junior. Kramer wide open for three.
Senior high with active hands.
Pearson with a little leaner from about 5 feet out. If the Tigers could just go on about an 8-9-0 run, they're down 17.
This would be the time to do it.
They call a foul on Kramer. That's his second. Not really sure. I mean, there was a trip, but I'm not sure that they're going to get Kramer out of there, bring Chunky Haney in.
I'll be interested to see if when Lima, if they score, if they're going to continue how good their full court pressure is going to be. Again, a lot of the guys that were pressuring are on the bench right now. I'm sure they'll continue to try to press, but will be as effective with these guys.
Yeah, they basically have a second unit in there now. But that really doesn't matter because Quan Moore takes it strong with the left hand. Haney with a tough shot off balance from the free throw line.
It was a good move to get to that spot, but yeah, he kind of kicked his legs out.
Jackson for three from the corner. Everybody's hitting shots now for the Spartans.
Well, when you get a 15, 20-point lead, you get a little bit more confidence, a little loose, easier to shoot. Now their half-court pressure is still good.
Bradley draws the foul. Foul's going to be on Quan Moore. It's the 15th foul. The Tigers will inbound under their own basket. Chad Kramer now coming back in for Brock Hill. A little bit more offense for the Tigers.
Last time in this out-of-bounds play, they did a real nice job getting an elbow jumper for a player. Now they're looking for a corner shot.
Well, they get a steal, but they're going to have a foul away from the ball on Lima.
That out-of-bounds play, they were trying to set Pearson up, which I think is a good idea. He just hasn't been able to get a good look tonight, and you'd like to get that kid going, keep his confidence improving.
Pearson with 4 points. Ware for three.
Deep three.
Might be a little out of his range as he hangs his head.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close to Steph Curry's range, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is outside of a normal person's range.
Yeah.
Or everybody else's range.
Well, 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Tigers with a little bit of a run to start the third quarter, but Lima Senior answers. And to end the quarter, a basket by Anthony Mosley. Well, the Spartans build a 24-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Tigers down 56-32, much to the Stan Jefferson, who is taking this in here at Pete Henry, a fan of the team here at OH Report and a fan of the Tigers, and probably not liking what he has seen much of the first three quarters. There's a good look at Stan Jefferson, who was the football coach at Mansfield Senior for a lot of years and really did an outstanding job with the Tiger football program, and he's just a guy that I think there's a magnet in him that draws him back to Mansfield Senior. He just loves this school.
Oh, I don't think there's any question, and doing a great job here in Mansfield. And someone from being a previous coach, he knows what coaches go through. He knows what's going on here, and it's great to have someone like that as the leadership of our school district.
He was coaching the Tiger program, and back when I was back in the old Channel 50 days, and spent a lot of time talking with him, and he bleeds, well, now brown and orange, but a true champion of this school and kids that come through here.
I would beg to say that he was about as good of an interview as you could have. He could tell a story.
I loved interviewing Stan Jefferson because I had to ask one question. I lit the fuse and then just sat there, and he was the most entertaining, elegant gentleman to just sit and listen to.
Right.
And by the time he got done with the answer, I almost forgot what I asked.
Right.
But he was always a class act, and he's a very good ambassador for this school district. It's good that he's here today, and unfortunately, not watching a very good ball game.
But watched a better third quarter by Mansfield Senior. They still got outscored, but a better quarter by Mansfield Senior and a good start to this fourth quarter. Missing free throws, but defensively they're being aggressive. They've gotten a couple of steals.
Reese Ware connects on the free throw. Now the Tigers with a little bit of pressure. And they get a turnover out of it, up ahead to Ware, but then they can't convert. So they give the ball right back to Lima Senior.
And Mansfield's had 3 possessions, and Lima's yet to get the ball past half court. Great pressure.
Good ball rotation. Tough shot with the left hand, doesn't go by Quan Moore. I would venture a guess Khalil Luster is probably done for the ball game.
He might be.
Again. Kramer pulls up. Tough shot doesn't go. Mosley with the rebound.
Nice pass. Nice run.
Nice look inside to Mosley. And that frenetic pace just continues, but they're going to call a travel. And the Tigers will get the ball back.
Now, do you have a Lima roster on?
Well, I spoke too soon.
Oh, here they come.
Because here they come.
Number 15 for Lima. He looks like a young guy.
Zion Jackson, a 5'9" sophomore.
Okay. So, yeah, Coach Simpson was able to get a little bit of the backups, the subs that haven't probably played as much into the game.
Pass right to Travis Bullock, who had thoughts of electrifying about 25 people on the far side of the gym, and it didn't happen.
Nice no-look pass.
Wide open 3 for Bullock. So the offense kind of sputters here to start the fourth quarter, and the Tigers are going to get the ball back.
Well, if Coach Simpson wants to keep the pace going, he's just going to push that press up a little bit more. That is 9 team fouls, though, for Lima. So senior high, Mansfield Senior has a chance to go to the line and score some points with the clock stopped.
Maurice Ware at the line with 9 points. He is at his season's average. Had 9 points, 8 rebounds in the win over Sandusky.
They played awfully well against Sandusky. 19 offensive rebounds for senior high, 30 points in the paint. We talk about points per possession. If you're over 1 offensively, that's good. They were over 1, I think, for the first time since we've had them. It was just a good all-around outing for senior high on Saturday.
Kick out to Khalil Luster and a foul inside. So on Kramer, that's his third.
Returning to the game, number 22, Lima Crawford.
Got a little mismatch right there.
Mayo unable to connect from the outside, and Chapman with another rebound. Kramer with a 5-second call.
And Mayo just did a great job of keeping Shad on the side, not letting him penetrate, not letting him reverse the basketball.
Luster, a 5'6" junior.
I heard Coach Simpson yell out to run motion. I'm sure he'd like to get a little bit more ball reversal than what they're getting right now.
Oh, nice pull-up jumper by Luster.
You could see for the senior high fans how he has a little Keon Johnson in him. Again, not to that level yet. He's only a junior.
Kramer does a nice job getting ahead and forcing the ball out of bounds. Actually went off of Mayo, so it will go to the Tigers. They let off the pressure a little bit.
Keeping him on the sideline, though.
And an offensive putback by Crawford. Long three in the air. And in by Caden Hampton, the freshman. 63-38 in favor of Lima Senior.
Yeah, it's such a tough matchup. I mean, you want to stop their dribble penetration, and then they're shooting the ball so well from the perimeter.
Kramer with a long three. Hill with the rebound, but it's taken away.
Can't bring the ball down against them.
Well, and then they just look to continue to push the tempo. Bullock with a layup at the other end. He now has 10.
I don't know if Lima really would know how to just hold the ball. I mean, they just – I'm being serious. I mean, this is how they practice. This is how they always play. They just want to run, run, run.
So they don't have a four corners offense.
8 points, get a three-pointer, get a foul call.
I think with a minute left in a quarter, they're not going to go for the last shot. Now, with that being said, they probably don't – I don't know if they have a four corners or not, but you've seen at times where they have really opened up the post and gone 5 out looking for the dribble penetration, and if you help, penetrate and kick. So they do out of their – I don't know if it's their continuity, out of their motion, they will do a lot of 5 out.
Taking a look in at the action, Ontario down at Lucas taking on the Lady Cubs. And Ontario with a 45-35 lead. We were down there earlier in the year seeing Taylor Eisman and the boys taking on Galleon. And
they played awfully well since then also, haven't they?
Played extremely, especially defensively.
Right.
They have.
And I think when we saw them, it was maybe only their second game off quarantine.
Yes.
So we saw them awfully early. They still had a big win, but I'm sure they're getting better and better.
Well, speaking of good defense, that's a perfect segue into what Lima Senior has done to the Tigers. They have taken up, with the exception of a small run in the third quarter, they have really taken the Tigers out of everything that they were doing well in that 4-game winning streak. Hill with a nice take to the basket. And then Crawford with a steal at the other end. And the Tigers again with numbers. Hill misfires, but I think
take it up. There we go.
Ware's going to take the off-balance shot from behind the backboard. It doesn't go. The Spartans looking to win their 8th in a row against the Tigers. Crawford has it knocked away.
That's just great hustle, coming from behind and getting the swipe.
Luster open for three. Can't do that.
You can't do that.
You cannot.
Can't leave him open.
He's got 19 after a slow start in the first half. Ware at the other end with a jam.
And that was a nice pass by Kramer. Good look. Head up. Saw the open man.
Luster said, well, I'll try to answer with a three at the other end. Ware now with 12, and he'll pull up for three.
Well, I think Luster saw the side and saw that he's coming out of the game, so if he's going to get another shot up, he better do it quickly. See, I've been there. You know?
3 minutes, 6 seconds to go. Deion Crawford's going to go to the line as the foul was called on Travis Bullock. It's his third. And there will be wholesale substitutions.
You know, again, talking about Brock Hill being the last game, because of quarantine with the JV players, and a couple of those JV players who are playing a lot of varsity minutes, the freshman with Khalil, is that it?
Carry-on Lindsay.
Carry-on Lindsay was playing a lot of good minutes for him. The big kid was playing a lot of good minutes for him. With losing Brock, until they get those guys back, Coach Sykes is going to have a limited bench also.
68-44 as Crawford now with 6. Crawford, a transfer. And you can tell even the bench guys that have been on the floor for Lima Senior, they want to carry on as the starters have, and Luster now with 22.
And I think that might have been one of his last shots, as I see a sub coming in for him now.
Pearson misfires. Luster had 6 points at the half.
Most of them are threes this half, isn't it?
Yeah, he has played very well shooting the ball. And another strong take by Mosley. He's a sophomore.
They're going to be quite good next year, and I assume Senior High is going to have to go to Lima next year.
Pearson with a good look from 3.
First good look he's had.
Up ahead to Luster. And now they're just making it look easy.
Yeah.
Mosley with 13.
Talk about easy.
24 now.
The two subs at the bench are saying, we need a dead ball here. I got to get in the game.
A foul away from the ball. Luster's night's done, 24 points. No brainer, he'll be our player of the game. So Miles Bradley at the line. Miles, a 6'1" junior.
Well, we talked before the game about the keys, and we said Senior High would have to handle the pressure, number one, and Lima Senior's pressure was just too strong. Not just tonight, but this is what they do, and Senior High, that's probably been an Achilles heel all year, teams that can apply pressure like that. We said they had to finish at the basket, and I think they did a better job in the second half. Not consistent throughout the whole game, but a better job in the second half. And we talked about stopping transition, and you know, Sandusky, I thought, was successful getting out and running against Senior High. Lima was able tonight to get out and run against Senior High.
Well, we also said they would have to click offensively, and that did not happen.
No, that certainly, you know, that did not happen. But, you know, I don't know if West Holmes runs a lot of transition. I know their scores are relatively low, very good basketball team. I know Lexington's scores are not extremely high. I don't know if they run transition, but I do know that neither of those two run like Lima Senior can run. Exactly. But next week, Worcester, they do run. They run every chance they get. The game's going to be at Worcester. So Senior High's got to remedy that problem.
Brock Hill's fouled. He'll go to the line. So Brock Hill with 5 points, and as we said, this will be his last game in a Tiger uniform because of the transfer rules. And he's gotten
Brian,
a lot of minutes, and he's played well during that four-game winning streak.
He has. He shot the ball well. It's going to be a big loss for him. And tell me if you're any different as a former coach, but it's so much easier to sit up here and talk about the problems when you don't have to worry about the solution.
Yes. Yes.
I know what's wrong. I just don't know how to fix it.
One of the few mistakes by Lima Senior tonight. And tell you what, I'd like to see that St. Ed's team.
Well, I'll tell you, St. Ed's is good. I still don't think they're number one in the state that they are right now. But, they are St. Ed's, and they're always going to have some players. They're not the most athletic, but they are skilled. They have some shooters. I'm not so sure that a full Lima Senior team I wouldn't take on a neutral court against St. Ed's.
I mean, they not only lost, they lost 70-56.
Right, and it was really in the second half, they never got within 10. Now, one thing St. Ed's had was they have ball handlers.
Team still hustling down to the final second here, 52 seconds to go, and that is something encouraging.
That is. You want to see that. And, when Coach Sykes watched the film, he wants to see the hustle. He wants to see the effort. Again, you don't want to go into practice. You don't want to coach effort if you don't have to, and you don't want to coach the don'ts. You want to coach the do's.
Pearson with a layup at the other end. And Lima's going to get out of here with their 11th win of the season. And they're going to call a carry with 27 seconds to go.
Now, how good was Shelby that night that they beat Lima at Lima? That would have been a game I wish we could have seen.
That would have been a game to see.
Yeah. And you hope Shelby, I'm not sure when they come off quarantine, but you hope they come off healthy and everybody ready to go because they could have a fabulous tournament.
And that could be the finishing touches right there. Points number 79 and 80. And Lima with an 80-48 win over the Tigers of Mansfield Senior. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You've been watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
Your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Time now for our OH Report Player of the Game, and congratulations to 5'6" junior Khalil Luster, 24 points. A little bit of a slow start for you, 6 points in the first half. You got some open looks, just couldn't get some of those shots to fall, but you really seemed to get things going in the second half.
Thank you, sir. I just stayed confident, and as I'm stayed confident, shots started falling. My coach told me, when I shoot, extend my elbow more, and they start dropping for me.
Okay, I have to ask you, at halftime I noticed they were waiting for you to hit a three before you guys started your huddle there at halftime. What was that about?
Just a good start. Before when we warm up, he always tell us somebody make one. So I missed after somebody made one. I kept shooting, I missed. So I had to make one.
Okay, after the St. Ed's loss on Friday night, what was kind of the mood of the team as you guys headed into the Sylvania game, and then as you knew you had to come down here tonight? What did you take from that loss?
Honestly, what I took from the St. Ed's loss was that we have to pay more attention to the scouting reports. And as we went into the Sylvania game, we did that. We came out and played hard and paid attention to the scouting reports and had their players, scouted the players that we needed to guard, and understood that. Then coming into this game, we had to just come with a mindset that we had to come in here and get it done.
Well, I'm taking the scouting report for this game tonight was you had to take Shad Kramer out defensively, and you guys did a pretty nice job of that.
Yeah, definitely. For the last, maybe since my freshman year, when I was a freshman, he was on JV, and he gave our JV team real problems. So then as last year, he was on the varsity team, and we played. He actually gave us problems then. So we came into this game knowing he was the better player, and they said that he scored 32 points versus Ashland, so we came in this game looking to stop him.
So did you guys have a defensive goal in mind as far as points, or are you just going to make every possession tough on him?
Definitely just make every possession tough on him, and put our better defender on him, Jordan Rollins, and slow him down a lot.
Now, we made the comment several times throughout the game. We've seen teams that press, but they don't press the way you guys do. You guys just seem to really hound the ball. Where does that mentality come from?
Honestly, that's just the Coach Q mentality. He don't he feel me. He gotta just honestly gotta show you can beat it before he take it off. Like in the St. Ed's game, we stayed in it the whole game, no matter what. No matter how many times they beat it, we stayed in the same press.
Now, as you guys head down the stretch, what do you feel? Are you guys focused at all on your conference, or are you guys really just taking one game at a time to get ready for the tournament, which is coming up here pretty soon?
We're definitely focused on our conference. We want to win a conference again, but we just take it one game at a time so we can just continue to get better each and every day at practice.
Well, I'll tell you what, whoever draws you guys in the tournament, you guys are going to be a tough out. I think you guys have the makings. And from what I understand, your whole team wasn't even here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We was missing one of our top scorers, Cameron Miles, our big, Nas Cameron. And honestly, Jordan isn't at his full potential, so kind of missing a little bit of him too.
Well, hopefully you guys can get that all together by the end of the season and you can make a deep tournament run. Congratulations on a big win tonight, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, congratulations to Khalil Luster, our player of the game. 24 points, the 5'6" junior leading the Spartans to an 80-48 win over the Tigers of Mansfield Senior. And I'll tell you what, he seems like a very humble kid when you talk to him, but he plays the game with a high energy, and he plays extremely hard. And he can shoot the ball pretty well, too.
Yeah. And it's, to me, it's always an advantage when you have a point guard that can set the tone, and he does set the tone how Lima Senior wants to play.
And it seems like he sets the tone at both ends of the floor.
Right.
And it was interesting to hear him basically say, this is the way that Coach expects us to play defensively.
Right.
And we're going to do that regardless of the situation.
We say it's in their DNA. I think long before Coach Simpson got there, that's the way Lima Senior plays. They press, they run. If they have shooters, they're able to shoot the basketball from the outside, and that's why they have such a strong tradition as well as Mansfield has.
Well, and the scary part is they're not even at full strength.
Well, exactly. You just imagine how good those guys are going to be when they do get to full strength. And you're right. I would hate to be one of the bottom feeder teams in Division I in Northwest District that has to play them on game one of the tournament.
Well, let's take a look at the final numbers, and it's not going to be pretty as the Tigers only shoot 17% from behind the three-point line. They didn't make any three-pointers in the first half.
Right.
But offensively, they shot the ball very poorly tonight, 35%. A lot of that was because of the pace that Lima Senior likes to create, but also Mansfield Senior got some decent looks. They just couldn't get to knock down.
Well, you're right, but the pace, the pressure, it wears on you. As the game goes on, it's just your legs get a little bit tired, and it's tough to shoot from the perimeter when your legs are tired. But, again, senior high over the last 4, 5, 6 games has been shooting much better from the outside. Sandusky, they didn't shoot extremely well out there from the three-point line. I don't even know if they hit a shot. Tonight they didn't hit a shot, but that's something that's going to have to continue because as they play in league play, teams aren't going to pressure them, but they're going to sag off of them and force them to shoot perimeter shots and prove that they can make the outside shot.
Now, most teams, if you shoot 42% from the floor, you're doing well. They shot 42% from the three-point line.
That's what surprised me. They're a 29% shooting team from the three-point line. Tonight, they were feeling it. And again, when you get a 15, 20-point lead, you're a little looser. It doesn't mean as much. I think we saw one young man for Lima that missed a dunk, and on the same possession, he also missed a three. Well, in a close game, he's probably too afraid to shoot another shot. But, you're a little looser when you have a big lead, and they obviously got some good looks tonight also.
Now, they were a team that last year, because of COVID, they were making a deep tournament run. In
Right.
fact, they were set to play Lakewood St. Ed's in the regional final when the season was halted. So hopefully this year, this team, it will be interesting to see just how far they go. Individually, Luster led all scores with 24 points. Jerron Mayo had 14. He had a big first half. Bullock had 10. For the Tigers, Maurice Ware led them with 12 points. Brock Hill with 7. Shad Kramer held to 5 points, and he was just basically just running for his life all night long.
As most of the Tigers were. The pressure, again, it wears on you. That's what Lima Senior wants to do, and it's just tough to play. It's tough to, senior high has a little bit of an advantage as maybe they can simulate that in practice better than most teams can, but still they can't do it at the pace that the pressure that Lima Senior gives you.
With the win, Lima Senior is now 11-2. Mansfield Senior drops to 6-5. The final score tonight, Lima Senior 80 and Mansfield Senior 48. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Travis Berardi, and the fine camera work courtesy of Mason Neese and Jory Hollenbeck, and tonight's stats courtesy of Zach Massa. But most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, Lima Senior 80 and Mansfield Senior 48. You've been watching high school basketball live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions. Thanks again to our generous sponsors for making all of this possible. Keep it locked into the OH Report, your new home for live sports coverage in North Central Ohio and beyond. For Greg Collins, I'm Brian Harder. So long from Pete Henry.